What I want to do is let the ladies here know ladies love to hear about their own body parts. You ever notice that shit? Tell me about myself, why don't you? If any of you ladies see us leaving tomorrow, and judging by the looks of this crowd, you won't be able to miss us. 4 black heads in a big truck, pulled over on the side of the freeway for doing this right here. I would like any of y'all to see us tomorrow. Don't roll your windows down and talk to us. No, roll your windows up. Roll them up, not down. Roll them up. If you're electronic, hope you got the frontal hook, and if you do, undo it. Get the nipples a little hard. And then I want you to put them on a glass. Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Let me hear you. Come on. What? Come on, come on. Come on, come on. Start them up. Yeah, my Italiano. Not many brothers was rolling in the Diablo. The hard rock, the street is my worst spot. I'm looking for females and cops. Yeah. Do things can pass me and rolling over 5.0 like tips on OG. But I'm sitting in third, I'm never on swerve.
The Surve Notice Hip Hop Museum. Northwest Hall of Fame. Entry number 1, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Anthony L. Ray, born August 12, 1963, better known by his stage name Sir Mix-a-Lot or his CB handle Prime Minister, is an American rapper, songwriter, and record producer. He is best known for his 1992 hit song Baby Got Back, which peaked at number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Early life. Anthony Ray was born on August 12, 1963, in Auburn, Washington, a suburb of Seattle, and grew up in Seattle's Central District. In Ray's youth, his mother, Ella Kingsland, worked as a licensed practical nurse at the King County Jail. Ray was a fan of hip-hop and started rapping in the early 1980s. 3. While living in the Bryant Manor Apartments on 19th Ave and East Yesler Way, Anthony Ray started school at Roosevelt High School, near the University District, when the Seattle Public School District was in the throes of what would be a 21-year experiment to integrate the school system. Guns N' Roses member Duff McKagan and actress Rose McGowan also went there. Students were bused from their neighborhoods to schools at the other end of the city. From 1978 to 1999, when the busing program was in operation, minorities carried the burden of busing, going from the South End and the Central area to predominantly white schools in the North End. 4. Ray said he knew that some North End residents did not want black children bused into their neighborhoods. But for him, the experience offered respite from the projects. I've heard things like, forced integration is not good, I want my kid to be able to go to school in our community, that's why we moved here. All those things I totally understand, he said. But from my perspective, I didn't have the luxury of living in a neighborhood where a good school was. We didn't make that kind of money. So from my perspective, it was the best thing that could have happened to me. 4. A music teacher at Eckstein Middle School introduced Ray to the possibility of a music career. Ray was interested in electronics and CB radio from a young age. One of his early jobs was working at a pinball arcade servicing machines, and during that time he started to fix keyboards and other musical equipment. He still works with electronics as a hobby. 5. Career? 1980s. Soon after high school, he began DJing parties at local community centers. 6. By 1983, Sir Mix-a-Lot had begun playing weekends regularly at the Rainier Vista Boys and Girls Club in South Seattle. Soon he moved locations and started hosting his parties at the Rotary Boys and Girls Club in the Central District. It was there that he met Nasty Ness Rodriguez, a local radio DJ and host of Fresh Tracks, the West Coast's first rap radio show on Seattle station KKFX, K-Fox. 7. Sir Mix-a-Lot partnered with Nasty Ness and local businessman Ed Locke to found the Nastimix record label in 1983. 8. The first song to gain popularity outside of Seattle was Square Dance Rap in 1986. Mix-a-Lot had originally decided to rap the entire song slowly, then speed it up and increase its pitch in post-production. Mix later told Seattle Refined in 2018 that I didn't want to rap, that's why I used this weird Smurf voice. 9. After the song was picked up by DJs in clubs nationwide, he toured Florida, New York, and other states. While in Arizona, he noticed a street named Broadway with a restaurant named Dick's, just like Seattle. This gave him the idea to write his next hit, Posse on Broadway. 10. The title referred to Broadway in Seattle's Capitol Hill district. 11. Released in 1987, the single made the top 100 but quickly disappeared, although it remains popular in the Seattle area for its references to many local landmarks. Swass, Sir Mix-a-Lot's debut album, was released in 1988 with two other singles, Square Dance Rap, 11, and Iron Man, a rap metal track sampling from the song of the same name by Black Sabbath. It was backed by the band Metal Church. 12. In 1990, the Recording Industry Association of America certified Swass Platinum. 13. Seminar, released in 1989, featured My Hoopty, Beepers, Gore-Tex and I Got Game. 1990s. In 1991, Sir Mix-a-Lot signed to the Def American label, which also bought the rights to his first two albums, and released his third album Mac Daddy in 1992. The single Baby Got Back was a #1 hit that went double platinum 13, and won the 1993 Grammy Award for Best Rap Solo Performance. 14. MTV aired the music video for the song only after 9 p.m. because of many complaints. 15. In 1993, Sir Mix-a-Lot collaborated with Seattle-based grunge band Mudhoney for the song Freak Mama on the Judgment Night soundtrack. 11. In 1994, he released the album Cheap Boot Naka, which reached number 69 on the Billboard 200 and number 28 on the top R&B/hip hop charts. The album featured the hit single Put 'Em on the Glass. Just a Pimpin' in Me was nominated for the Grammy Award for Best Rap Solo Performance but lost to Let Me Ride by Dr. Dre. When his 1996 album Return of the Bumpasaurus was only given a low label promotion, leading to lackluster sales, Sir Mix-a-Lot left Def American. During the time off, he worked closely with the band The Presidents of the United States of America under the group name Subset with a combination of rock and rap music, but nothing was ever officially released. 16. 2000s. Sir Mix-a-Lot signed with the independent label Artist Direct for his 2003 album Daddy's Home with Big Johnson as its lead single. 11/17. The next year, he released a DVD entitled Don't Tell 'Em That to promote the album. 18 2010. In 2010, Sir Mix-a-Lot announced his next album, Done Forgot About Mix. The lead single Cars was released to YouTube on November 23, 2010. By June 2011, the video had over 1 million views, although no release date for the album has been set as of 2023. 13. In the same year, his F.U.B.A.R. remix for the song Conditions of My Parole appeared on Puscifer's remix album All Remixed Up. 19. In 2013, Sir Mix-a-Lot produced the album Dream for the urban rock band Aaron Jones and The Way. He opened their album release party at Numos on November 2nd. That Christmas season, he promoted the Washington State Lottery over the Christmas season, with advertisements featuring his music appearing on Spotify. 20. On June 6, 2014, Sir Mix-a-Lot collaborated and performed with the Seattle Symphony on a new composition by Gabriel Prokofiev as part of the symphony's Sonic Evolution series of new orchestral pieces inspired by Seattle's music icons. 21, 22, 23. In 2014, rapper Nicki Minaj released the single Anaconda, 24, which prominently featured samples from Baby Got Back. Sir Mix-a-Lot praised both the artist and the song, calling it the new and improved version of Baby Got Back. 25. In March 2016, Sir Mix-a-Lot collaborated with TNT and LK on the track and video, Streets Don't Love Me. 26. From 2017 to 2019, Sir Mix-a-Lot hosted a morning radio show based in Seattle on Hot 103.7 FM. He owns multiple residences, including one in Auburn, Washington, where he has continued to maintain a strong presence performing at small festivals across the country. Other work. In 1995, Sir Mix-a-Lot was the regular host of the short-lived UPN anthology drama series The Watcher, in which, in 2000, he was quoted in Vibe magazine as saying in retrospect, "I wish I hadn't done the show." 27. In 2006, Sir Mix-a-Lot appeared on Adult Swim's Tom Goes to the Mayor. In 2008, he appeared on Adult Swim's Robot Chicken singing a song entitled Table Be Round. It was sung in the style of Baby Got Back, but was about the King Arthur's creation of the round table. He also voiced politician Hans Blix and singer Stevie Wonder in the season 3 finale. He appeared in an episode of season 4 of BoJack Horseman playing himself. Sir Mix-a-Lot provides narration and commentary in Weedle's Groove, a 2009 documentary about the Seattle 1960s and 70s funk and soul scene. 28. In June 2018, the DIY Network aired a special called Sir Mix-a-Lot's House Remix, which involved Sir Mix-a-Lot buying and flipping a house in Seattle. 29. In 2019, he became the spokesperson for Cards Against Humanity's Ass Pack.
Like Pat?
Pretty good, really good.
Okay, you give me the countdown and we'll get ready to roll.
All right, we're rolling in 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
What's up? This is Dominic Hoyt reporting for What's Up College Edition. Hello, TCC. Today we're very excited because we've been invited into the home of a Northwest. You may know him as the...
It's all good. It's all good. Chilling, working.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's start it off with, how did it feel when you were first starting off? You're an icon in the sense that the Northwest didn't have any kind of representation as far as hip-hop. You broke down the door and was the first, really, to get on the map as far as hip-hop. How was that?
Actually, it still bothers me to this day because I don't really represent the Seattle sound. You know, I mean, I'm quirky. I like weird styles. My musical influences are a whole lot deeper, you know, than just a cat that did rap. You know, I listen to James Brown. I go back and listen to some old Devo. I listen to Linkin Park. I listen to Korn. I'm all over the place. So I didn't really represent the quote-unquote Seattle hip-hop sound, whatever that is. So it was like a unwanted pressure, you know, to portray what cats were seeing as the Seattle sound, to put that forth when it wasn't my sound. So it was a little nerve-wracking initially. Now I just kind of move on. I just kind of do what I do. But it bothered me initially because I really didn't want that pressure.
There's been other groups who've tried to come out like this is probably going underground for the Northwest. High Performance, Criminal Nation. Why has it been so hard? We have the Dirty South being represented, the East Coast being represented, and the West Coast being represented. Why is it so hard for the Northwest to find its bearing on the hip-hop scene?
That's easy. And I say this all the time. Hooks. Cats out here, and I got a few of them around me, they're so worried about, quote-unquote, keeping it real and talking about shit they ain't never done, basically, excuse my language, that they make whack songs. In other words, the quest for respect and credibility leads to a lack of creativity. You know, the cats don't want to really... How many times can I say MF in a song? How many hoes can I knock? How much weed can I smoke? That's keeping it real. That's not keeping it real, because that's not your everyday thing. The cats in the South, they figured it out. They said, you know what? We can talk about tossing back 40s and ain't nobody gonna listen but the cats that toss back 40s. But when we start throwing these new dances out here, this new slang and these hooks, you know, the thing you remember about a song is not the verses. That's the things that hardcore rap fans remember. But the things that you remember about songs are choruses, hooks. And the cats in C-Town are starting to get that now. But back in the day, really Criminal Nation had it down pat, you know, but a lot of cats listen to their hooks and it sounds like another verse. And if your song goes off, see, I'm talking producer now. I'm not talking about from a rapper perspective. Right. When your song goes off, if I can't nod my head and remember something about it, it ain't gonna hit. Right. Not just me. I mean, when I say I mean anybody. If a person can't, when that song goes off, if you hear Mystical, for instance, Danger, if you can remember that song's going to catch on. Right. But if it goes off and you go, it was something by Mystical, but I don't remember what it was, right, it's not going to work. Got to have that hook.
It's crucial.
One thing that I really admire you personally about, as far as growing up with your music, is you've always been versatile. I mean, your songs have always been either subjects such as square dance rap, hoopty, I Got Game, Swap Meet Louie, Posse on Broadway, Baby Got Back. You said you have different influences. Who are some of your top 3 influences right quick off the dome?
George Clinton. First and foremost, man. I think maybe it's that I'm old school, I'm from the old school, but cats don't realize that George Clinton / James Brown / Bootsy Collins, to me, are the bridge between soul music and hip hop. They were the link. I mean, that's what tied it all in. I remember the first time I listened to a Parliament record, I was just a little kid, and the first thing I realized is some of these cats can't sing. But why do I like this song so much? You know, because it wasn't about I got tired of listening to songs talking about a romantic evening in Paris. I was living on Yesterday in the hood. I didn't know nothing about Paris, but Funkadelic Parliament, they brought it home. They made it about the fried chicken and watermelon again. It was cool. It wasn't nothing to be ashamed of, being from the hood. And it was, I don't know, it was uplifting stuff. And I see it that deeply. So George Clinton, number 1, Kraftwerk. You know, Kraftwerk is a group that a lot of cats in hip-hop today don't know who they are, but they still sample it. You know, all your Planet Rocks, what was the other song, man? Trans-Europe Express, all that stuff is in Planet Rock, all the early hip-hop, all the early techno. I don't care what, industrial, all that comes from Kraftwerk. And they were just 4 German cats who did funny, quirky songs and kind of didn't speak English well. But it was cool stuff to listen to. And probably Prince would be my third, because that's what I grew up on. Right. And Prince was not about killing and shooting. It was about the women. Right. You know, so and of course I came up in the pimping age. You know, that's what I was around. So it was like, that was my thing. And I started tripping. Everybody was talking about shooting. I'm like, y'all talking about shooting with all these women standing over here? Crazy. Put your game in.
Yeah, that's another. You've always been on the ladies type track with Just the Pimpin' in Me. I Got Game. Yeah. I Check My Bank. What really inspired Baby Got Back, which became like an anthem for black women, if I may say so? So Cosmos think you're fat, and I ain't down with that, and all that.
I remember I was dating a chick back then who was like, Coke bottle, you know? Right. And we were sitting in a hotel in L.A. Watching a football game. Matter of fact, we were watching the Super Bowl. And that's back when they had the Bud Light girls with the Spud McKenzie dog and all that. That was their little run, and all the chicks were like shaped like stop signs. And it was, I'm looking at this like, okay, this is what, I don't know, Armani, Calvin Klein, somebody's telling us this is beautiful. But when I'm walking with guys, boom, you know, we're like, woo, we like the curves. And why, it's like, so who's telling, why are these guys trying to force feed us something we don't want to eat? Right. So, this girl, she did the oh my God part right there on the spot. We did it on the DAT. Oh, that? Yeah, and we started producing it, and before I got home, I was done with it. Oh. I mean, but it was really a knee-jerk reaction to what at that time was the quote-unquote norm. Right. In on TV. That's what you saw. That was what they wanted us to like. But every guy knew we wanted the curves. Right. I was like, man, these girls ain't getting fake breasts for no reason. You know, but that was what it was about, just response. And I do that a lot. I'll hide a serious message in a funny song because I don't feel the need to come off eyebrows down and guns blazing. Right. You know, I got 10 to 15 guns in my house now, but I don't have to. I never felt the need to come out and just mean mug it or fake it. That's fake to me. Right. A lot of cats in the game do that.
I think one of, if I may be so bold, your songs that I would consider a street anthem in a sense has to be Posse on Broadway, yeah. Which was actually remade by E40 with Big Ballin' with My Homies. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about his version? And tell me a little bit about the feel, what you were going through with Posse on Broadway.
Well, Posse on Broadway was just my way of, in a roundabout way, putting Seattle on the map. Mm-hmm. It was like, I remember, I don't know if you remember this group called the Boogie Boys. Yeah. They had a song called Fly Girl, right?
Fly Girl.
Yeah, so they came to town one time, man.
And you ain't fresh.
Yeah, exactly. They came to town one time, and I was hanging out with them, me and Ness Rodriguez, and we were running around with them, and the first thing I noticed is how they kept dissing Seattle. Everywhere they went to say, man, you guys got black people out here, but they're not black people. You know what I mean? Kept getting a lot. I was like, you know what, that's fucked up. So basically, I tracked this Posse on Broadway thing, man, and what I did, I got every homie I knew, every female I knew. We didn't have a lot of money. We did it out of pocket. It was like $12,000. And we went right up on Broadway, man, and raided the dicks on Broadway, man, and just a bunch of cars, low riders.
Right.
Cops didn't know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. I mean, it was all new to us. Probably couldn't do that now and get away with it, but it was cool. It was like, you know, the Virgin that gave it up. That's basically what it was. And I was trying to put Seattle on the map, which in retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have worked so hard to do that because it kind of put a lot of pressure on me to represent everything else in the town, and I couldn't do that. I'm just one person.
Speaking of Posse on Broadway, and I remember from the video, what's up with Kid Sensation, Maserati, the Emerald City Posse?
Kid Sensation got saved. His name is now Kola Malik. Yeah, Maharaji's still in the group. Matter of fact, we're going on tour in another 2 weeks. He was just here, just a little while ago. He just left about 5-6 hours ago. Attitude of Justice still doing his thing. I got a new cat I'm producing now called Out of Sight. Oh man, he's off the hinges because he does this like, it's like taking corn and mixing it with real rap. You know, a lot of the cats that do this so-called hip-hop rock stuff can't rap. You know, they rap like some cat like Mix-a-Lot 84 or something. But this cat's gonna be, I got a chick in Tacoma named Tamika, does some R&B stuff. I got a lot of cats. A lot of the cats from the old crew are still with me, but I got a lot of new cats I'm bringing up.
Right.
Really, I'm doing one more record. I'm finished with it now.
One more.
One more.
Is that it?
It may be it. If it blows up, I'm not stupid. I gotta do another one.
Yeah.
But I really plan on doing one more record.
What's it called?
And it's gonna be called Daddy's Home. And I wasn't gonna do it. The only reason I did it was because we were on the road and we had a bunch of chicks in the room. Hope you don't show this to my girl. We had a bunch of chicks in the room, and we were watching videos, and a couple cats came on in a row, and the chicks went, "Damn, everybody's using your image. You know, the hats and the furs and it's like, oh, wait a minute, y'all was gangsters 5 years ago. Now you're balling." It's a trip, man. I remember when I put this Lamborghini in the video, everybody thought I was oddball. Like, man, you putting cars in there, can't nobody relate to that. They want to see lowriders. So I put Lamborghini in. Now everybody's in a Lamborghini.
Yeah.
So I'm going to come and do a video with it in a bucket. I got to do something different. Yeah, I'm always trying to, when everybody else is zigging, I'm zagging.
Right.
So, yeah, we're gonna pop it out one more record, but I'm setting up my new artists on this record.
Okay, great.
Yeah, the website is we're getting like 150,000 hits a month. When you change pages on the site, they count that as a hit. Mine doesn't work like that. It's flash.
Right.
So when somebody comes, they come.
Right.
You know, so what I want to do eventually, and I know I keep digressing, but what I really want to do is change the way, not necessarily change the business, but change the way music business is done. It's foul. You got cats who got skills who intentionally only put 2 hits on a record so they can stretch. It's like gravy. They're trying to thin the gravy out with more water and put 2 hits on the next record and 2 hits on the next record. And they're selling it to you for $19. You know, no matter what. You're going to a little raggedy-ass club in some town in Idaho somewhere, and they're charging you $30 for a show. It's not the artist's fault. It's the business. You got 2 entities controlling the whole business right now. Okay. You got MTV and you got Clear Channel. There's no options. You ask anybody, any fan anywhere, would they like to buy records direct and save $8? They would all do it. I would. If you told me if I'm a fan of Em's record for $12 and maybe he sent it to me with an autograph or something like that, it's like that's to me more personal. And I'm going to try to do business that way with fans. Now, I have a deal with iMusic through BMG. So I can't take my records and put them in the stores and compete with them, but I can sell direct if I want to.
Okay.
I can mix with, I own all my masters. I own all my publishing. I kept all that stuff. A lot of cats don't do that. Keep your publishing, trust me, or you'll go broke, guarantee you. And I'm just trying to change the way the business is done. If I sell you a record for $12 direct, I make $10 a record. If I sell you a record for $19 in the store, I make $1.50.
Whoa.
That's what's wrong with this. That's what's wrong with this game.
What do you think now of the current, like Napster, Kazaa, Morpheus, where people are now downloading for basically free or close to free music? How is that affecting the music business, and how's that going to affect you as an artist or any other artist?
Well, the download thing is, because initially I was like, wow, man, this is like taking money out of our pockets. But then you look at Destiny's Child and Eminem, right? When Destiny's Child and Eminem peaked, that's when Napster was at its peak. Didn't hurt them at all.
Right.
When Napster fell off, the music business fell off. So my thing was, if you could kind of control Napster, but then kind of keep them a little while, in other words, feed them a little something, it's promotion, man. It's like I saw a chick's website, I ain't gonna say who it is, it's a singer, where you have to pay to watch her video on the website. But she'll kiss MTV's ass to put it on TV to let you see it free.
Right.
What's wrong with this picture? It's like, let them come on your website and see the video. We got to start bypassing the normal routes, but we're brainwashed. You know, so we'll charge you to deal with us personally, but then we'll pay MTV to do the exact same thing. Silly, man.
I read somewhere when you were first starting out, the haters jumped you or something like that, and you were about to pull your strap and bust on them, and then you thought twice. Is that not true?
No, that's not true. I mean, what happened, the only thing that ever happened to me was it was one dude, I was with a dude that writes for a magazine in New York. I don't want to say the name, but, or D.C. And we were at a 7-Eleven. I was showing him the hood. Well, I was driving a Bentley through the hood, which may have been a mistake.
Yeah, better make a U-turn, huh?
Right. But anyway, this cat, we walk out of 7-Eleven, and this cat starts mouthing off, and I can't really repeat what he was saying, but he spit at me. Right? So I'm like, back then, I'm crazier than I am now. Now I'm laid back. I'm like, damn, this dude just spit at me. Now I'm thinking, what do? I'm sitting here with a cat who's videotaping everything for his little magazine article. I could bow like a punk, and he gonna write about it, or I can go break this motherfucker's jaw. He spit at me again. So I had a little Desert Eagle, a chrome Desert Eagle, and I pulled it on him. But I didn't.
A little Desert Eagle.
Yeah, well, I got it in the thing. It was a big monster, man. But I pulled it, but it didn't get like that. He said he wanted to do it with his hands.
Yeah.
I said, we can do it with our hands, but you got 15 motherfuckers standing. What you want me to do? There's 15 cats standing here, and it's me and a... Come on, dude. You got to be crazy. So, I mean, nothing popped off, but that was like back in 90 or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing, there's a lot of thing with rappers and beefs. I don't know, since they never really blew up big time, but I remember there was a beef between you and High Performance.
Well, between High Performance and me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I never responded to it. I didn't understand it.
Yeah, it was. They
had man. It was like
Kill Mix or something.
Yeah, kill Mix a lot.
What was that about?
I have no idea, dog. I'll call one of them on the phone and ask him. We talked about it, and I said, "What's the problem, dog? You talking about killing somebody when you see him? It's just a song." That was it. I mean, what is the song based on, dog? Where was our beef? And they said something about they heard a rumor. Now check this out. Tell me if it's logical to you. They heard a rumor that I was going around the radio stations and telling them not to play that record. Now, that doesn't even make sense. If I'm going to a radio station, I'm worried about my own record. If I work at a radio station and you tell me don't play so-and-so, what am I going to do? I'm going to go listen to it because maybe I do want to play it. So, hatred for High Performance, it was whatever. I just let it go. Right. As a matter of fact, most of the cats I see them now, I'm cool with them. Right. So, I'm not tripping on that stuff. Right. I never have responded. I only responded to one little thing, back in the old days, Naughty by Nature did something, mentioned me in one of their tracks.
They did?
I don't remember what it was, but it was like something producer, hot you not, and who gives a damn if you mix a lot, something like that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it was, but I responded to that because they was on that level. But our battling to me is corny. That's silly. Bunch of minority millionaires. They can't even stay organized. Can you imagine? Check this out. Just dream about this for a minute. Say you took Jay-Z say Biggie was still living, say Tupac was still living, say Suge Knight was all cool, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, say you took the power these guys had, put all this together and created an independent distribution network.
Yeah.
Why ain't it going to happen? Because the labels will let us fight. As long as we fight and beef and funk with each other and act like, excuse the French, niggas, that's how we're going to get treated, like a bunch of niggas. That's how they treat us. That's the way it's going to stay until we stop all this funking and beefing and quit. Who got the, why we got a, so-and-so got to floss more than so-and-so and putting poor people down because you got a Bentley and he don't, come on, man. Get off of that. We can have power in the game. Too much money. Too much money not to have it, but we're not focusing it because we're too busy trying to outfloss each other and diss each other. That's why I never have got into it. I always thought it was kind of, it didn't make sense.
What issues in the world, being that this is a college show, what issues right now going on in the world, any issues, do you feel, does Mix-a-Lot feel the most passionate about?
Oh, man. Well, obviously you just heard one,
Yeah.
the music business thing, but, and I don't know when this is going to air, but this whole situation with Iraq and more, see, it's funny because what scares me even more so than Iraq is North Korea.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about this for the longest. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, North Korea recently said even if we have an embargo against them, they'll consider that an act of war and strike first. How do we ignore this guy and pay attention to Saddam? North Korea's gone nuts, dude. I mean, they just tested a missile in the Japan Sea. Dude, man, I mean, that scares the hell out of me. And another thing that scares the hell out of me, and I just got to be honest, see, I'm not left wing or right.
Sure.
And, you know, that's rare. You don't see too many black people say they're always Democrat. Not me. I'm not brainwashed by either party. I think the two-party system sucks, to be honest with you. Okay. You should vote for the man, not the party.
Right.
But I think what's also bad is George Bush's rhetoric, man. Because as a man, and I realize this because I've toured, I've been out of the country, I've talked to other people, we have a tendency, we don't even see our own arrogance. You know, sometimes we talk to people in a way that you kind of make them feel beneath you. And America has this habit, worship us or die. Live our way or we'll destroy your society. If we go to war with you, when we get done, we'll put in our type of politics. You know, people will run for office, people will do this, and you'll worship this white Jesus over here. It's subtle. It sounds stupid to the average American, but put yourself in something. What if somebody came to America? I'll give you an example. Living here in America, and say we did something wrong. I don't know, Bay of Pigs type thing. We did something to offend somebody. And that somebody was more powerful than us. And they came to our country, and they took California and New York and put a line all the way down the east and west coast and called that a no-fly zone and said under no circumstances can you fly from Idaho over to the west coast. We can't imagine that. That's sick. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it to Iraq because Iraq deserves it. We should have took Saddam out a long time ago. But sometimes our arrogance, we don't understand what we do to a race of people or a country when we go in and just totally degrade, destroy, demoralize a society and then say we're going to rebuild it in our likeness. It's almost like we think we're God. That's scary. And it ain't got nothing to do with no left wing, right wing, because there's things I hate about the other side too. But, I mean, right now, that's stressing me out. It's like North Korea is like asking to have their asses kicked.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, think about it. They're like, hey, mess with us. And we're just not even paying attention. And don't get me wrong, I think we got to do something about Saddam, but better worry about North Korea pretty quick because they're crazy enough to strike first.
On your new album, Daddy's Home, what's going to be the flavor on that? You always come with a bunch of versatile subjects. For the year 2003, the new millennium, what's some of the subjects you're going to touch on? Is it going to be anything more a serious side or more on the same of the balling, or what's the flavor?
This album is, I'm trying to describe it correctly because everybody says the same thing. This album is better than all my other albums. It is better than all my other records, but unlike most artists, I can probably tell you why. First of all, production-wise, I went nuts on production.
Is your genius still there?
No, he's not. No, Eugenius was going to be on the record, but by the time he got his beats in, we were done. But what I did production-wise was I stepped up, and I went out and spent $300,000 or $400,000 rebuilding my studio before I started the album. And I really went and took my time. I worked on this record for 3 years. And when you listen to it, the first thing you're going to notice is it sounds like 8, 9 producers when most of it's me. And I use Strange, who's producing a lot of the DAWG stuff right now. And I got a lot of different production. Subject matter, I'm all over the place. But I'm all over the place, but I have more consistency. In other words, there's some ideals. There's some things I'm trying to bring home. It's somewhat anti... I don't want to say, not really anti-establishment. That's a little broad, but it's kind of anti-big boy. It's not the old Mix-a-Lot. It's not I got a Lamborghini, I'm richer than you, I play in front of arenas and with a bunch of naked hoes. That's not there anymore. That's not there. What I'm talking about now is the dirty clubs and getting down personal, shaking hands, meeting people, stage diving, and kicking it with my people. I'm getting it back to what it's supposed to be. Music, especially rap music, is no longer about fans. Think about it. Watch a rap video now. All it is I'm going to show you my platinum chain. My platinum, it's all about blinging and flossing, and it's almost like in a subtle way, you're putting your fans down. You're talking down to them. And that's not what rap was about. And I'm not trying to knock it because I'm one of the ones responsible for doing that. I mean, I did it way back, but I was like odd. I was, Public Enemy, NWA. So when I did it, it was a joke. But now these cats are serious. They seriously want to show you the Hummer. They seriously want to show you the Escalade. And they seriously want to put you down for not having one. And to me, that's not what it's about. So this record, I brought a lot of that home. I finally, because I never have, talked about where I come from. Not just what city. I mean, how I grew up. You know, what projects I lived in, how I got out of them, the dirt I've done, and the legit stuff I've done, the struggle. And I don't like that subject matter because everybody else uses it. But I figured I'd do that. I got that off my chest. And if you listen to it, you might not like song 1, but you'll love song 2. You might not like song 2, but you like song 3 because none of them sound alike. And there's really, I went nuts on this album. I had fun with it. My last 2 albums, I didn't have fun with them. Return of the Bumper Stories, I was pissed off.
Why?
Just because of what I had been through in the game and what I had been through in the business. This business has no love for you. And none of us seem to realize that until we hit the ripcord and the parachute's bringing us back down to earth. Then we go, oh, shit, he don't love me. The record label doesn't love me. Wait, what's going on? So I was a little frustrated. Now I just see it for what it is. The record business is, I love music, but I hate the business. And if you keep that mindset, you can make money in this game. When you fall in love with the business, when you like the art of the deal, when you like to, and I've done it, when you sit around and call money monies and eat little bean sprouts and soufflés and you write big checks, when you get addicted to that, that's when you're over with because you're forgetting what it's all about. That's why do you think record companies are dying? Record companies are dying because a record label, if you put out a new record through Warner Brothers, whoever, they're more into promoting the record inside the business than they are getting it to the fan. You think I'm lying? Go to any record label right now, do an interview with them and say, well, how do you set a record up? Watch what they tell you. Well, you hit the trade magazines, and then you want to hit the radio guys. Well, these are guys, basically what you're saying is, Mr. Radio Man, I'm giving you the power to destroy my record. Well, it used to be about getting to the fans. It used to be TV commercials. It used to be billboards. Reach the people and bypass all this bullshit. But nobody seems to understand that anymore. That's why I know I can move units. I'm not even worried about it.
Nasty Ness. Yeah. I guess we could say the fall of Nasty Mix. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? What happened there? I mean, it was Sir Mix-a-Lot, Criminal Nation, High Performance, I believe a group named Kid Sensation, a group named The Accused, I believe.
Yep.
What happened with Nasty Mix?
Well, Nasty Mix, just to give everybody a little history, was an idea that Ed Locke, who ran Nasty Mix, Nasty Ness and Mix-a-Lot had, that's where the name Nasty Mix comes from. We started it out, we did this little square dance rap single. sold about 50,000 units. Nobody got paid. We left the money in the company, and we tried to turn it into something, which we did. We gave birth to the Swass album, Posse on Broadway. We shot the little video, and of course I'm skimming. The record took off. Everybody got rich. Well, Ed got rich. I'm not saying Ed ripped me off, but he got rich. I made okay money. Well, as time went on, the company grew more impersonal. It like I was saying earlier, it turned into the art of the deal. It turned into the business. You'd go in. Now, keep in mind, I'm the main reason this label blew up. I went into the label. I couldn't go back and talk to Ed anymore. I had to stand at the front, and the secretaries had to go back and let him know I was there. All of a sudden, everybody had to wear suits and ties, and I'm like, whoa, man, you guys are losing focus. And then he starts signing a bunch of bands, man, like this dance music shit that wasn't selling. So, on the one hand, this Mix-a-Lot stuff is steadily climbing the ladder because Swass is going towards platinum, and then some of this other stuff is weighing the teeter-totter down, you know what I mean? So, obviously, at some point, he's robbing Peter to pay Paul. The Mix-a-Lot money is paying for the stuff that he wants to do that's failing. He doesn't know how to, well, he knew how to micromanage it. He knew how to lay out a spreadsheet. Ed was a genius, but I don't know how he did his business. I'm just telling you. Long story short, at the end of the Seminar album, which was our second album, I met a brother named Ricardo Frazier, who worked for Ed at the time in the mailroom, and I noticed that a lot of the guys there, when I had a question about publishing and things of that sort, they'd ask him. So I'm like, okay, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture here? You know what I mean? You got all these so-called big shots walking in back to the mailroom asking this brother, what is this? How do we do this? And he's spitting it to him, and I'm like, man. You know, so then Ed and I start going at it. I was telling my then manager, look, man, I think this guy owes me like $600,000-$700,000. For what? Well, publishing. We didn't know what publishing was. We started reading on it and found out that, yeah, wait a minute, you do owe me some publishing. His defense then was, I didn't really understand what publishing was. Well, if you didn't understand what publishing was, how did you go to Black Sabbath and clear Iron Man? You cleared Iron Man because it was a publishing issue, and you knew that's what it was. I didn't know. Here's another problem. The manager I had then also worked for Ed Lott. The conflict was obvious. You know, so there's a conflict of interest there. I called Ricardo, and I told him, I said, dude, you know, of course, me and him, that then manager got in an argument because he made me. That's another one you hear a lot of managers say. So I asked Ricardo, dude, what are you doing, man, for the next 5-6 years? He said, what do you mean? I said, won't you be my manager? And, I mean, gears shifted immediately. First thing he did was quit. He stopped working for Ed. He went down, and he hired some lawyers, and we found all this money. And we said, dude, we got to get this money or else. Well, I backed off because I liked Ed. Ed was like a brother to me, and without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. So I said, look, don't give me the money. If you can just say on paper that you owe it to me, we'll deal with it later. He wouldn't say it. Too proud, I guess. So, long story short, we went to court, man, which was ugly. I hated to see him in court like that, you know what I mean? This is a cat that we used to hang out and play ball together. You know, now we're in court over this. They said it happens all the time in the game. So, he lost. You know, he said he didn't need me to survive. He said that to the judge. He shouldn't have said that. The judge was like, oh, well, then this is a done deal. If you don't need him to survive, he can move on. And I walked. I didn't get any money. I went and got to deal with Rick Rubin. And that's when I dropped the Mac Daddy album. And he went on and did something and just squandered it. I thought he had a great thing if he had. I think he just got a little big for his britches.
Tell me a little bit about the Seattle The Dark Side project.
That was E-Dawg's project. Initial. Well, no, you're talking about the first one, the Seattle The Dark Side. Well, what I was trying to do is I thought, this is when I started to realize what this game is really about. I thought having a #1 record, you know what I'm saying? I had a Grammy at 4 or 5 million records. I thought, man, now I can put some people out. Now I can put some cats down. I can really do what I want to do. I kept running into opposition. So it was almost like throwing me a little bait. The label said, well, I'll tell you what, we'll let you put out this compilation. And we'll give you, you know, 100 grand, 50 grand to put it together. And what they did basically was throw a dog a bone. They just gave me something to keep me happy so I wouldn't be pissed off and not deliver my next record. They let me put the compilation together. They did nothing to promote it. They turned down all the acts. Didn't want none of them, nothing. So now I'm coming back home with all this supposed power, having to explain to these brothers and sisters, some of them, that I can't do nothing for you. And that's where everything just hit the fan. It was like Cat said, Mix-a-Lot wasn't giving back. He's holding cats down, but I'm trying, but I didn't have the power I thought I had, you know? And that's kind of basically what happened with that project. Seattle the Dark Side would have been it was an interesting project, an interesting experiment. I mean, I was willing to eat a lot of it. I was willing to pay for a lot of it myself. But what was supposed to come of it was the artist that most people like was supposed to come off the compilation and make an album.
Right.
Warner Brothers changed their mind. So, and they had that power because of the deal we had. But I realized that I didn't have the power I thought I had.
Right.
Most cats don't. Britney Spears ain't got no power. You know, that's just the way the business works.
10 years from now, how does Sir Mix-a-Lot want to be remembered?
Damn. Well, that's a $64 million question. You know, that's interesting, man, because I don't concern myself much with the legacy, and you know, I'm not. I saw somebody the other day call me a legend of rap. I'm like, legend of rap. You know, Dr. Dre's a legend to me. That's the way I look at it, because I mean, he's touched all these different things, and everything he touches turns to platinum. I mean, Dr. Dre sells 500,000 records just a flop. I can't believe that. I'm like, dude, give me those flops all day long. But I guess I'd like to be remembered as a cat who, unlike a lot of cats in the game, actually kept it real. You know, when I say that, what I mean is I didn't act like a gangster when it was popular to be a gangster. You know, I wasn't doing the running man and wearing high-top fades when it was popular to do the running man and wear high-top fades. You know, I always, a lot like Too Short, I stayed true to what I was. My style's changed. It's like on this new record, my style may have changed, but when I step on the stage, it's still that cat you saw 10 years ago. Just a few things modified, obviously styles and stuff like that, but I was never addicted to fads. And I like to be remembered as a cat who really did what he felt was the real thing. A lot like me. To me, keeping it real, Too Short kept it real. You know, and here's the odd one. To me, Fresh Prince kept it real because he stayed what he was. You know, it's like I know a lot of cats now that's rapping that was doing gangster rap 7 years ago. Now they doing pop stuff, dancing around. I know cats that was dancing in '89 that ended up being gangsters in '94. I'm like, what are we doing here? You know, which is why I didn't like when Hammer did the last record and he came up with the skull cap and the lokes. I'm like, dude, what are you doing, dog? Yeah, what are you doing that for, dog? Just be who you are. You know, and if cats are dissing you, then fuck them. Say it, though. That's what I thought he should have done. But then again, I'm not his manager, you know.
We're ready to go again, so go ahead and when we count down, you can ask the questions you're going to ask.
Okay, just give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, and...
There's a lot of college students at TCC, Pierce. A lot of wanna be rappers, or want to make it rappers, rather I should say, since want to be holds a negative term. What advice would you give them as far as getting started in the business, surviving in the business, and becoming something and making it in the Northwest that really hasn't established itself or came into its own yet?
Be yourself. And of course, that sounds like a lot of cats say that, but I mean it with conviction. I mean, dude, I got to give you an example. I got 10 demos right now that come from the Seattle, Tacoma area. Everybody sound like Tupac. And one of them sound like E40.
Oh, okay.
It's like Seattle, you know, we got, our culture is different here. Talk about it. Because a cat in Kentucky might hear that and go like, damn, what is he talking about? Ivory? What are you talking about? Fish and chicks at the Seattle Senate? What is all this? Because that's what we're infatuated with. We love hearing about Oakland and Compton and the Dirty South. You know, so it's like, make Seattle something people want to listen to instead of trying to imitate what's already out there. The more original you are, the better chance you got of making it. And sometimes the more strange you are, the more likely you are to make it. I mean, look at to me, Busta Rhymes, he's a performer. He's animated, he does crazy stuff, and he stands out. You can sit there and watch MTV all day and be falling asleep, and Busta Rhymes come on, you be like, look at this fool. I mean, stand out, be seen, make some noise, and for God's sake, make the songs addicting. Give me a chorus. You know, the average kid is driving, and don't do them for your homies.
Right.
I used to do that too. A lot of cats want a lot of rappers like, you know, I'm representing, yo, check this out. Boom, 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 whoopty whoop, and they let their homies hear it, and the homies is lit up.
Right.
But their homies.
When we count down, you can ask the question you're going to ask.
Okay, just give me a countdown.
5, 4, 3, 2, and...
There's a lot of college students at TCC, Pierce. A lot of wanna be rappers, or want to make it rappers, rather I should say, since wanna be holds a negative term. What advice would you give them as far as getting started in the business, surviving in the business, and becoming something and making it in the Northwest that really hasn't established itself or came into its own yet?
Be yourself. And of course, that sounds like a lot of cats say that, but I mean it with conviction. I mean, dude, I got to give you an example. I got 10 demos right now that come from the Seattle, Tacoma area. Everybody sound like Tupac. And one of them sound like E40.
Oh, okay.
It's like Seattle, you know, we got, our culture is different here. Talk about it. Because a cat in Kentucky might hear that and go like, damn, what is he talking about? Ivory? What are you talking about? Fish and chicks at the Seattle Senate? What is all this? Because that's what we're infatuated with. We love hearing about Oakland and Compton and the Dirty South. You know, so it's like, make Seattle something people want to listen to instead of trying to imitate what's already out there. The more original you are, the better chance you got of making it. And sometimes the more strange you are, the more likely you are to make it. I mean, look at to me, Busta Rhymes, he's a performer. He's animated, he does crazy stuff, and he stands out. You can sit there and watch MTV all day and be falling asleep, and Busta Rhymes coming, you be like, look at this fool. I mean, stand out, be seen, make some noise, and for God's sake, make the songs addicting. Give me a chorus. You know, the average kid is driving, and don't do them for your homies.
Right.
I used to do that too. A lot of cats want a lot of rappers like, you know, I'm representing, yo, check this out. Boom, 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 whoopty whoop, and they let their homies hear it, and the homies is lit up.
Right.
But their homies' girls is falling asleep.
Right.
Well, then you got a problem. I'm not doing my songs for 5 or 6 cats, you know, up on the hilltop, on Horton, on Yesler, on Union. I'm doing them for the masses.
Right.
That doesn't mean pop. That doesn't mean go out and, you know, and unbutton your shirt down to here and start doing the bump. I ain't saying that, but do something cats can feel. And if you can, the hell with being a rapper, there's a whole lot of ways to make money in this business. It's not just about the rap game. I know cats that are promoters that are huge. You know, I know cats that are doing the stuff I'm going to do with the web and on the internet that are huge. I know one cat doing website for rappers. He's a millionaire already. You know, look at Hype Williams.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at Russell Simmons, Leor Cohen, Rick Rubin. There's a whole lot of stuff that can be done in this game. Damon Dash, a whole lot of stuff that can be done in this game that people ignore because they're infatuated with the stardom. So ask yourself, what means more to you, the fame or the money? You know, the hell with the fame. I take the money. That's pimp game. You know, a lot of these cats don't understand that. They're infatuated with being famous when you ain't nothing but a hoe. I mean, let's be honest. When you're on stage, man, and you got on your little stuff and you popping your collar and driving your Hummer in the video, honestly, when we watch them videos and we think that that's bomb, there's somebody at home in Beverly Hills, Burbank, with a big-ass cigar go, look at my hoe. Show that Hummer I bought you, little bitch. That's what it is. People don't want to see it like that. When Mix-a-Lot was doing Baby Got Back, and I'm jumping around on this yellow ass, and I got my Ferraris and all this stuff, I didn't realize when the Source magazine came out, and I had all my cars out on the basketball court, 13 cars, I had girls, you come around here, I had naked women walking all over my house all the time, right? I thought I was doing the pimping. But the fact of the matter is, I'm flying the Source out here. I'm paying for rooms. I'm bringing chicks out here. I'm buying all these cars. Why? For him. Because Rick Rubin was sitting at home talking about, shake that ass, bitch, because that's what I was doing. All the Ferrari was a new miniskirt. You know what I'm saying? All the Escalade was a pair of shoes. It's the same thing. If you got a hoe on the street that's dumb enough to take the money she's earned and buy more hoe shit to keep hoeing for you, hey, that's the best hoe in the world. So to me, be bigger than just rap. You know, be more than just rap. Use rap as a stepping stone. Don't make rap your end goal. Right. If your dream is to just get on stage and rock 1 million people, that sounds great, but your dream is basically to be a big hoe. If you think I'm lying, how many people are taking care of Hammer right now? How many people are taking care of Vanilla Ice? How many people are taking care of Mix-a-Lot? How many cats went to Jam Master Jay's mom after he died and took care of her? None of them. Them record companies don't give a damn because you know what they're doing? Damn, Hammer's played out, Jam Master Jay died. Let me get a new hoe. You dial 1-800 Backstreet Boys. Next hoe, that's all this business is. Keep that in mind, and you'll make money in this game.
Well, Sir Mix-a-Lot, I thank you for letting us into your home, and I thank you for the most realist interview we've ever had on What's Up College Edition.
Anytime.
This has been Dominic Coit for What's Up College Edition Strive. This will probably be a 2-part interview, but the information will be well worth it, and everybody out there will want to see this one. Thank you. Thank you.
Right on.
You count down, rolling 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's up in the tack? You're rolling with Mix-a-Lot and College Edition. TCC's in the hazy.
How's that, Pat? And then
I'd give so high. I'd give so high.
The Surve Notice Hip Hop Museum. Northwest Hall of Fame, entry number 4, DAWG True Story, Rampage vs. Electroshock. I first met DAWG sometime in the 80s when we were around 15 or 16 years old. I had just joined my first rap crew at Jason Lee, called Knights of the Turntable. The group consisted of MC Rampage, myself, Jeff Thomas, MC Most Chill, Jermaine Ryan, DAWG, Chris Somerville, Chili C, and Peter Chase. I had just come back from being raised in Rockaway, NY, and was quite frankly, smelling my own piss. At least as far as it came to hip-hop. My first friend I've ever had in Tacoma, Ricky Bird the Rickberg, is the one who hooked me up with the Knights of the Turntable. However, that's another story for another time. I was set to battle some cat they called Michael Electroshock Johnson. I figured if this was just another Northwest cat, it should just be a stroll in the park. Back then, New York rappers had a false sense of superiority as being the standard when it came to rap. Anyway, I was at Peter Chase's house on Hilltop. For some strange reason, the crew was considering changing the name from Knights of the Turntable to something else. I don't quite remember why. Maybe it had to do with the popularity of Sir Mix-a-Lot, but I digress. I was at Peter's house with a long list of extremely whack name ideas for the crew. The names were really bad. I think one was U.F.R. for unidentified freestyle rappers. Peter was on the phone with MC Most Chill clowning me in the list. Outside, Michael Electroshock Johnson, DAWG, at the time was riding down the street on a BMX bike holding a DJ turntable in the handlebars. When I met him, I tried to play it cool, but in the back of my mind, the fact that this kid even had that sort of professional equipment clued me in on just how serious this dude was about hip-hop. You gotta realize, in the 80s, hip-hop equipment was a little hard to come by. Particularly for a 16-year-old. To make a long story short, we met and set the battle for the following Monday to meet back at Peter's house. I spent the week writing and prepping to take this dude to war. The night before the battle, Mrs. Ryan, R.I.P., had spoken to my strict mother, Anastasia Armorer, R.I.P., to let me spend the night at Jermaine Ryan's, DAWG's, house. When she said yes, I did a double backflip. My mom was very overprotective of me since we had no other family in this area. Me, DAWG, Maurice Ryan, Mo Money and Tyrone would be up playing Nintendo, eating Captain Crunch and of course listening to music. Some of the best times of my life. DAWG said he had an electroshock demo and asked if I'd like to hear it. I said, yeah. Believing I would just hear some Northwest gibberish screaming into a cheap tape recorder, doing their best LL Cool J rendition. DAWG put on the tape. It was 3 songs, Feeling It Hard, With My Sword, and I Love You. I couldn't believe my ears. The quality was on the level of grown famous rappers on the radio. The voice, the flow, the delivery. This cat's from up here? I kept playing the tape over and over. I literally could not stop myself from flipping over and over the tape. After 3 straight hours of playing Electroshock's tape over and over again with no break, literally driving DAWG up the walls of his own basement. Let's just say he put an end to my Electroshock demo tape obsession. Permanently. When I got home, I told my mother about this Electroshock cat I was set to battle that I had arrogantly didn't even bother to vet, who was on the level of a professional LL Cool J. Don't get it twisted, Rampage was good. In fact, Rampage was damn good. But Rampage was battle rap, beating on lunch tables good. At the time, I had never even seen a studio. This dude was on another level and quite frankly, out of my league. Electroshock waited at Peter Chase's house on the war date waiting for me to show up. George Rampage Hoyta never did. Instead, later that day, I found out where Electroshock lived and showed up at his door. I let him know how amazing I thought he was. We became good childhood friends and have been so ever since. Yes, this is the only battle George Rampage Hoyta ever gracefully bowed out of without spitting a rhyme. DAWG has an insane business mind, talent, and work ethic when it comes to hip-hop. At 16 he was calling up businesses to convince them to give us sponsorships for clothing. When I interviewed him, he said there was a time that he wasn't hungry. I thought to myself, what does that look like? Look, the man is $King talented. There is a reason Sir Mix-a-Lot took him in. There is a reason he is on the B-side of Sir Mix's Baby Got Back, one of the biggest rap hits in hip-hop history. There is a reason his first solo single Drop Top helped get a Grammy nod. I read a post of DAWG's last week that seemed to express a certain frustration with a lack of support. That post gave me the idea to start the Surve Notice Hip Hop Museum. Don't get it twisted, I am proud to induct my childhood friend into the Northwest Hall of Fame. I didn't see any Wikipedia story that could do this hip-hop prodigy justice, but in my small way of personal support, I am more than happy to write it. Northwest Hall of Fame. Entry number 4 DAWG. Salute. Your true friend, George Rampage Hoyta. DAWG, born as Michael Johnson, popped up on the national rap scene in 1993 with the single Drop Top, produced by Mix-a-Lot and Rick Rubin. The single came out just 1 year after Mix-a-Lot's No. 1 Billboard hit Baby Got Back. DAWG has rapped on several Mix-a-Lot albums.
What's up, what's up? This is Dominic Coy for We the Students Entertainment. Today we're very excited because we have Northwest own DAWG, I Dip. You remember him from the smash hit Drop Top. How you doing, DAWG?
Straight. You're
That's
already
what's
up.
up. Now, let's get this started with, you have a new album out, a new mixtape.
Mixtapes, singles.
Yeah, the Retirement Plan.
Yes.
And you just blew up the Papa Pubs in Kent.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's what's up. Tell us a little bit about the Retirement Plan, the album. What's going on with it, the music style, the flavor. Just give us the lowdown, the 411.
First off, the concept of Retirement Plan is, you know, being in the game for so long, and a lot of rappers don't make it this long. Yeah. Or don't even have the drive still. Yeah. So, you know, all the things I've sacrificed in my life to pursue music.
Right.
You know, that's not going to college and getting a degree at anything. You know, I put my whole life basically on this music. So, you know, this year or last year, I decided when I did the deal with Mix's label that the next record I do is my retirement plan. meaning that it has to make something.
Right.
I don't care what it takes. It got to bring in some paper from not just today, but tomorrow and beyond.
Right,
So, you know, I believe that when you do a record, it's entertainment, but it also has to have a plan.
Right.
So, you know, if you're just doing music just to do music, then you need to get out of it.
Right.
But if you have a plan beyond, you know, after the music,
Right.
then it's a great, you know, situation to get into. It's a great project to put together because then you got a plan for it.
Right.
You know, and every song means something to you. It's coming from the heart. So I named the record Retirement Plan for that reason. Far as how we're doing it is like we're not just dropping the record on people, you know, that quick because the game has changed so much.
Right, right.
You know, you put a record out there, your saturated market will allow that record to be swallowed, and then there's a good record that just went to waste.
Right.
So what we're doing is we're putting singles out, single after single after single, and then when the momentum picks up and people want to get that DAWG in them, then I give them the whole record because it's time for it.
Right, right.
So, I mean, we've been very successful with that. We just did 10,000 on the Dip single, which is good in this market today.
Yes,
you know,
yes.
if we was talking 93, then it'd be like, oh, you only sold 10,000.
Right.
But we're talking 10,000 independently
Right.
by ourselves
Right.
with our own foot traffic. So that's
Right,
what it is.
right. Okay, who produced? Who's the producers on the album? I Dip, definitely a club banger.
I Dip was a group called 253, a production company called 253 out of Tacoma. They produced like 90% of Omarion's last record.
Right, right, right.
They produced a lot of other records out there. Emmanuel is a very known singer, you know, out of Tacoma that did some numbers himself. But yeah, so they put that together. The track already was assembled. They brought it to the studio. I listened to it. Me, Trife, Emmanuel, Mike, and a couple other cats in the studio from 253. We was like, you know, man, this is it. Let's just do something with it.
Right.
Now, my challenge was, did I want to be an MC on the record, or did I just want to make a good song, a feel-good song? So I decided to put some feel-good lyrics to it and stop trying to be so lyrical and just, you know, get it to the point so that not only, you know, my fans would jump on it, but also the new fans
Right, right.
that I'm trying to reinvent myself with would jump on it. And it worked. I mean, it's working right now.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, so I'm working with up and coming producers, young cats, because you know I got to stay young. I can't always keep it real and try to bring people from the past.
Right. Well, speaking on the past, I want to go back to definitely the hit you're mainly known for is Drop Top.
Yeah.
The album that it came out, it was the biggest hit on the album, Seattle the Dark Side.
Yeah.
No question, hands down. It was you featuring Filthy Rich on Drop Top, and another song on there called The Little Oaks, I believe.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working at Tower Records at the time, and people always would come in and say, I'm rolling in my Drop Top. You have that? He was like, yes, that's E-Dog and Filthy Rich. Everybody was expecting a follow-up to Drop Top.
Yeah.
What happened? Why so long?
Man, first of all, respectively speaking, it had a lot to do with me too as an artist. I didn't find myself, you know. It was like back then I was rolling with mixes, Entourage So Tough.
Right.
You know, it was all about mix. That's what our goal was.
Right.
Is to go out there, do shows, and to get paid, and to come home and brag about it, and you know, live the life.
Right, right.
And you know, when you're going to the Grammys and you're on Arsenio and you're doing these things, you're forgetting that it's not your walk. You're just part of the walk.
Right, right.
Right? So you get caught up in someone else's fame that's not yours. And so it really didn't mean a lot to me to go in the studio and work my tail off to make more records. What happened was I met this young cat named Filthy Rich through another cat, and we vibed.
Right.
And when we vibed, I told him, yo, you should come back up here, you know what I mean, and let's get some music in.
Right.
Well, that's just, you know, because I liked him, and he was like, yo, you doing it with Mix, and woo woo. So when he got here, we was kicking it every day in my car. I had a little money in my pocket. I had, you know, the ride, the nice condo spot. And my intentions wasn't to go in the studio because I wasn't hungry. And then Rich looked at me and he said, man, I've been here for like a week and we ain't win the studio yet, fam. What's up?
Yeah.
And I was like, you really want to go in the studio? He's like, yeah, that's what I'm here for. He was hungry.
Yeah.
And he was on the run too, so he had to do something before he go in.
Right.
So I called Mix and I booked studio time. We went up there and we did Little Oaks and we did Drop Top all in one night.
Right.
We called Camille and she came and blazed it, and Eugenius did the beat.
Right.
And I think the next 2 days, Ricardo Frazier, which was Mix's manager, he was like excited about it, and he pitched the idea to Rick Rubin to put out this compilation and to use Drop Top as the lead single off the compilation. They gave me a fair amount of money, and that's what got the fire up under my butt, is when they gave me the money. I was like, all this for just these 2 songs?
Right.
I love this.
Yeah.
I can be like Mix in no time.
Right.
So when the song came out, it came out late. It was supposed to be a summertime release. When it came out at the end of the summer. So it only had so much time to do its work. And back then you had your street teams, your promoters, your BETs, your MTVs, and they picked the record up, but it was a little too late, so the time just went by so fast. And it did the numbers it did, and that was it. And because in Seattle, The Dark Side wasn't slept on, because I believe Just the Pimpin' and Me Mix's record off of that got a Grammy nomination.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. Oh, okay.
So, even though I felt I should get that Grammy nomination,
Yeah,
but I knew the politics involved with it.
Right.
He was the name that was on the record that people knew.
Right.
So after that, during the process of the single, Rick Rubin, it came to his attention that, wait a minute, we're moving too fast. E-Dawg, that was the reason for the record coming out late. E-Dawg is not signed to me. And he can blow up and leave.
Right.
So what's the point of me putting this single out if this man can blow up and leave?
Right.
So we were trying to scramble and cut a deal to do an album deal with Def America / Warner Brothers, American Recordings now. So when we're trying to scramble to do that, time is going. Time is moving and moving and moving. And the record's not out, the single. So then Rick was like trying to offer. He offered the first offer, and Ricardo Frazier and the lawyer at that time, Kevin Davis, was like, we can get more money. So we threw the offer back to them. They came back with, okay, Rick just want to hurry up and get this deal done so that we can move on and put this single out. So then the lawyer decided, well, man, you got to live, eat, you got to do this, pay your bills, promote this single. We think you should get more money. So it got pitched to to Def America again, and it took a minute. And I kept saying, man, yo, what's up? Now I'm secure because I'm like, yo, I'm getting this offer. But then it seemed like it happened overnight. There was no response. And then they came back like, Rick says, forget it, let's just do the single deal and move on. So I guess, as a reality check, me and Ricardo talk about it to this day, we should have took that first offer because I didn't even have an album ready. Rick was just willing to sign me on just that single.
Right.
You feel me? So we did the singles deal, and the record came out, and it did what it did.
Yeah.
And then I was hungry, but I still didn't know who I was as an artist.
Right.
You know what I mean? Drop Top was cool, but I was like so talented, like I can do different styles and all kinds of things. So I was trying to find myself. And if you listen to the old Mix-a-Lot records, Daddy's Home and the one before that, You Can't Slip, on the flip side of Baby Got Back, me and Mix did a single called You Can't Slip.
Oh, wow.
And when you listen to that, you'll know, man, who is this? You'll be asking yourself, who is this? Who is this? And it's me. So in some way, I feel like it was good it happened that way because I wasn't ready.
Right.
Now, I'm ready. I know who I am. I know what I want people to know about me. I know what I want to deliver. So ain't no stopping me. It took a minute, but hey, age is a matter of a mind. If you don't mind, it shouldn't matter. It's all about the talent. So I'm on that right now. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, what's up? It's DAWG in the house for the 9 Trey. I got my homeboy Filthy Rich in the house from the O. What's up, partner?
Oh, I'm just kicking it. Got the dank, got the drink, got the bank. It's all good. Plus the hot weather. What you wanna do today?
Oh yeah, you already know. Drop the top and let's roll on these food. Creep with me as I roll through the hood. Triple gold D's, drop top up to no good. Much skizzard, switches for the 3-wheel motion. Getting food sprung while I'm coasting. Got my 9 Glock for the jackers. Nickname me DAWG, a gat packer. While little things happen, so I gotta watch my back. Can't get caught slipping, cause I might get attacked by a fool trying to steal my rims. Shoot him in the dome and give him a little head trim. And then I'm outie, cause 187s will get you locked up. And I ain't about to take that route, cause it's effed up. So buck up, beware of the owner of the vehicle. Creeping real low in the 1964. swinging to the rhythm as I'm rolling in my drizzer.
Rolling in my drop top, and I don't wanna stop. Rolling in my drop top, do 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 do. Rolling in my drop top, and I don't wanna stop. Rolling in my drop top.
My man, I'm having those, so of course I got hoes. The alias is Filthy Rich, so you knows I got foes. I got dope, green dope, fat sacks at that. Take me a token, I'm destined for the track. A Mac with the act that's smooth like fifth gear. Assumed to die by my 25th year here. You know the script, I'm not going out stabbing drop tops and spots is what life's about. Being a dog, barking like I'm E-Dog, stressing like the Jetsons. Tempted to push clogs, a frog, hopping state to state, a hog, copping latex for them real hot dates. Yep, I hate motel rates. I can't get dibs at your crib. You got to wait. Time for some bank. Push up on the teller for some 20s. Press up on the phone. Ready to bone some slimmies. They know the time. Tell a friend bring some ends.
What kind of friends?
Let me see. It depends. I press send. Connect with the K9 plot. Sun's beaming hot. Drop the top. Hit the main line and I'm rolling.
Rolling in my drop top, and I don't wanna stop. Rolling in my drop top, do 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 do. Rolling in my drop top, and I don't wanna stop. Rolling in my drop top. Ooh, my drop top, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh,
Who are your top three musical influences right off the dome?
Will I Am, because he's not afraid to be different.
Right.
Dr. Dre, because he's consistent. And then I got to give it to Timberland, because Timberland always got something new too. These are innovators. These are people that bring stuff to the table and they take that chance. And I think that's what music is about.
I see in a lot of your videos, Who's Mike? I see a lot of hanging out with Digital Underground.
Man,
Money B and what's
One
up?
is like my best friend.
That's what's up.
You know, when I was doing a promotional tour for Drop Top in the Bay Area, back in the days, you know, the Bay Area had like 8 stations you can go to.
Right.
And then they had an underground video station that was the clarity was as good as BET and MTV. And I went on that show and a couple other shows, and I talked about my record and all that and the single. And then I also, you know, told people where I was going to be that night. Now, I'm not saying that Money B jumped up and ran to the club, like, because he was bigger than me. But we ended up being in the same spot one night, and it was a trip because my manager came over to me and said, Money B want to meet you, is that cool?
Yeah.
And I looked at him like, is that cool? That's Money B.
Yeah.
Is it cool if I meet him? And from there on, man, since 1993, we vibed. We called each other. He'd come out sometimes and stay at the house for a couple days or a week. Nobody knew he was in town. We would ride around and have fun and, you know, just socialize, man. And we've been friends ever since. And there's nothing that he wouldn't do for me, nothing I wouldn't do for him. So that's a natural relationship right there. It has nothing to do with music.
Right.
Like, I don't even believe I'm on any of his records.
Right.
And he's on my records, but I'm not on none of his. And it's not because I'm not good enough to be on his records. We just don't look at each other like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We just genuinely friends. And Shock G came in the picture, of course, because of Money. And because I was Money's family, I was family to Shock.
Right.
And there's been times where they offer, like, y'all need to jump on the tour bus if Mix ain't going out or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, these are just really genuine relationships that I got with cats in the industry, you know, as I met on my trip, you know, maybe my roller coaster.
When I was interviewing Sir Mix-a-Lot a few years back, he mentioned a Seattle and Dark Side 2 that was one of your projects. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
That's funny. It's comedy. I was bored, and I didn't want my name to go away. And because I didn't have the big education about how to release music properly and stuff like that, I was kind of like mimicking what I seen.
Yeah.
So I met these cats, Mark Simmons and Jim Blade, at Pacific Studios downtown Tacoma, and I was like, yo, you know, what if I asked Mix or Ricardo if we could put out Seattle the Dark Side, but part 2, and then we could put some out-of-towners on it and put some Tacoma and Seattle people on it, because people felt like I was in Seattle, the dark side, but there wasn't that many people, you know, from the inner city on the record that we wasn't messing with. And so that was a big politic thing in Seattle about Seattle, the dark side, was, man, they didn't put, you know, Silver Shadow D on there, they didn't put Duracell, they didn't put all these other rappers that was, you know, that had, you know, had their stuff together too. So I was like, man, I want to do it, you know, and put these people on there. And first of all, bad idea on the cover, because I thought it was a creative cover at the time, but I now look at it and I didn't dig it. And I did it, man, but what happened was one of the people that was the investor decided he wanted to be the play a bigger role than what we talked about. And I felt like he was watching my back, like almost like non-trustworthy, like calling people that I, you know, would already be talking to about something. And I just, you know, no disrespect, but we printed up like 3,000-4,000 of these records, and I just left them alone. After I put some in the stores, I just backed off the project and walked away from it. You know what I mean? Which was a bad situation, because, you know, when you, now I believe you put your foot in something, you finish it, whether it go bad or not, you just finish it so you can say you done your work and you did everything your word said you would do. So that's what happened with that project.
Well, as long as we're on the projects, why don't you tell me a little bit about the Split 50 project, The Girl Is Mine. One of my favorites, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I like The Girl Is Mine. I like The Girl. A lot of people like The Girl Is Mine, actually. It's
the only thing personal I got about that song is that when we did this Split 50 project, I knew it was going to be a challenge for me, because Strange, my partner on there, we all from the same camp. He produced a lot of Mac Daddy. He produced a lot of mixes, Mac Daddy. The song Cocaine, which was a dope beat back in the days. I'm Your New God. Rapper's Reputation. I mean, he done a lot of records. So when I stepped in the camp, I met Strange, and Strange was doing a record in Mix's house. And I was like, yo, this dude is dope. For a white dude, he's ridiculous. So, you know, when he had like a falling out with Mix, and I was having my little fallout with Mix, just like any other family member, you kind of like get together and you go, man, forget that, we're going to do a record ourselves. And he moved to L.A. When he moved to L.A., his beats got ridiculous. And I was like, man, flying down there doing records with him, record after record after record, just for my solo joint. And just to throw a little jab in there, Interscope got interested in me from a project that we did. And because of some politics, the deal fell through, but they were going to sign me. So we were like, man, we got something, man. And I was like, he was having problems, so he's like, I'm coming back home. I said, you come back home, we should just do a record. So we was like, what we going to call it? And it was like, let's call it Split 50. We're going to call it record. Colored people, it'd be funny because you're black and I'm white and people were different colors. So, but people would look at it like, colored people, what y'all talking about? So anyway, we start making these records. I love Michael Jackson. So I was like, let's do The Girl Is Mine. Let's talk about how you trying to get her and I'm trying to get her, and let's just, you know, do it like that. And that was crazy itself, right? Because we was like, girls are gonna love this song. It's gonna be off the rack. This is it. This is going down. And we got one problem was we have to clear the sample. So I'm like, oh man. And then we got the word by Hope Carr that clearing a Michael Jackson sample is like waiting a year or two.
Right, I'd imagine. Because
Michael likes to listen to personally, listen to it, and make that decision. Right. So we were like, oh man, well, we had Whose Microphone for a backup. The song got submitted. Michael Jackson listened to the song immediately and said, yo, they can use it. Right? Not only did he say we can use it, but he said if this song blow up, he would like to possibly sing the hook.
Oh, wow. Big time.
So we was like, yo, we got one. And we start pushing it. Then this movie comes out. I forgot what the movie's called, but there was a parody in it, a comedy of a white dude with a black rapper trying to get on with this label. And they were almost like the joke of the movie. And then it was like me and Strange. And then they did the song in the movie, and it was The Girl Is Mine. So it was like, it's a rap. We're killing it. That's it. It was just too over the top. It would have made us look corny, cornballs. So we dropped the song.
Yeah.
And we went with Who's Microphone and put Humpty on the remix, and that's what it is.
No more guest list. No more guest list. I can't, dog. I see you. I can't. Stop. Dog. Hey, what's up, Mike? Stop what you're doing. I can't. Stop what you're doing. You know you ain't got no ID, shorty. No, you can't come in. Yo. I'm gonna get you.
Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? It's yours.
Strange got levers, pushing every one of them. Fetish from microphone to letters. I dig, so cuticles never clean. Blade sheen like a 5-beam. Flock of birds always want a cop. I love y'all ladies, bouncing that shaker. I love y'all ladies, what you won't do? I love y'all ladies, a gift from the maker. I love y'all ladies, but why you so crazy?
Yo, when I'm in the club, I like to shake them down. Make them poke out their chest, turn their heads around. Nasty, I blew my back out a few times. The doc told me I knocked my spine out of line. Lil' Nip, like my man Money B, I'm quick to run deep. Make them wanna wet their sheets. You know the code, mom. Can't stay the night, lights out. Get your clothes, yo. Get the hell out my house. Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? It's yours. Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? She said she loved me long time. I said how long? She said the first time she heard me rhyme. Oh, now that's what I call a groupie chick for show. Quick pass to the number to the hotel door.
Reload the cock back splits in your grill. Rum and coke got my spokes on full tilt. Every girl gon' go to the after show, but not every girl gon' go home.
I like my chick a little hard, fat farm fitted, love boots, and don't care if the ride is kidded. Ride out in glass house, hit switch and mash. Quick to get 'em up, but still give up the Ain't no party like a split 50 party, cause a split 50 party don't stop. Ain't no party like a split 50 party, cause a split 50 party don't stop.
I don't understand the way you think. The girl is yours, not mine. Sending roses and your cities is just to waste her time. The girl is mine, the girl is mine, she's mine behind. The doggone girl is mine, you know she's mine. You know she's mine. Damn, baby, got a man?
I don't need a man.
Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? It's yours. Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Yeah, can I get a little bit? My nigga just told me first go platinum, then cop the whip. And it ain't 40 if the front don't dip. 50 G's no less if you truly wanna style. 22, 23 to be the baller, go fast. Get every chick on the block hot. Black on black, navigator, clean, fresh off the lot. Cutthroat the card notes, cash out, mash out. Don't even take no time to think about the amount.
So maybe me and my friends can get what you and yours. And for me, baby, please bring a few more. Cause the last time I got the car to start, I burned 3 packs of rubbers and the Johnson Bunny broke down before I called it. Like, whoa, skinny's what has to go. We need the front and back. Cause the tapping ain't cool when you're hitting on the bone. So phone home and tell all your thick girls to come on.
Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? It's yours. Whose microphone is this? It's yours. Whose time to rock this shit? It's yours. Whose 22's on the 6? It's yours. Can I get a little bit? It's yours. It's yours.
I know your mother.
Yeah, that's too bad. I really genuinely like that song, and whoever I played for liked the song.
Yeah, props out to Alex Duncan, man, singing the hook.
That's what's up. An earlier project, the Platinum album. Platinum album, DAWG. My favorite songs on there. I mean, this to me is one of the deepest albums I've heard from you.
Yeah.
You start off with No More Tears, when you're talking about your woman, your baby's mama. You go into Shackles. There's a lot of personal stuff on here. Why don't you tell us a little about this? And Sexton's on here too.
That record is crazy because I was going to throw that record in the garbage. That was just a whole bunch of records I was just recording at a lab out of Berrien, Mike Overbeck Studios. And when I was going to throw the record away, this gentleman named Travis came and approached me and was like, yo, what are you doing? And we start vibing. And I was like, let him hear this record. And I said, yeah, but I ain't really feeling this record. And he's like, what do you mean you ain't feeling that record? That record is dope. Yeah. He was like, what you gonna do with it? I said, I don't care. Shoot. I said, somebody can give me some money and take it. I don't care. I don't want nothing to do with it. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, first of all, how I built the record is I signed to this label, Dynasty Records, which was a group out here called Central Dynasty. They came together and put some money up and started a label, and they ran out of money. So some of these songs were a part of that. And I was just like stuck with this record. I didn't want nothing to do with it. I was growing every day. So I didn't like my deliveries. I didn't like a lot of stuff. I felt like I was doing gumbo, a bunch of songs here and there. I didn't have an identity. So Travis sat down with me and said, man, I'll buy the record from you. And with some good money. And I was like, okay. Well, let's do the deal. He agreed to the deal. We inked the deal. But the deal was, after a certain amount of copies, I'll come back on and get a percentage. Well, when he got the record, Travis was a hustler. QD3 somehow got a hold of this record and was interested in buying the record, putting it out. So QD3 was like, man, what's up with the artist? Travis was like, well, I bought the record from him. I don't have him. He's not on my label. He's like, man, we can't put a record out without an artist. And he offered him $250,000 for the record. But by this time, I had signed a deal with a label out of LA called Epicurean. So now they need the artist to the musical CD, and they don't have it. So they want to come get me. So Travis called me. He's like, yo, I can put some more money in your pocket. I got this situation. And I said, man, that's going to be hard. And he said, man, try to see if you can get out of it. We can buy you out your contract. And I said, okay, well, let me call the label. And called the label, and the label was like, nah, we're not doing that. They didn't want to let me go. So I said, Trav, they're not doing it. He's like, man. Well, so then QD3 got on the phone, was like, well, we can probably do some videos, and we can use you and pay them per project or whatever per single. And then they wasn't feeling that. So then it was like, well, would you mind if somebody else did the record over or whatever? I said, I don't care. You know what you guys do with the record. And Trav lost that deal. So he was like, forget it. He was determined, I'm going to put this record out. And I never heard the record. This is a funny thing. I never heard the record because there was some things added to the record. There was some extra cats on the record that I didn't even meet. I don't know who they are. Like Trav had the ADATs. The original master, so he was able to put people on songs. And no, he didn't disrespect because he asked me, but what it was is the people that were in those places on the record, they were acting funny with him about using it. Like one person to say they don't want no money, or they just want 1,000, and then with me, then when they get on the phone with him, they want 5,000. So he said, forget them, let's take them off. And he put different people on there. So I never heard the record. The record came out in Texas. Or in other places. And it was doing good. And he had it on the radio. He had Shackles on the radio. And all that stuff. You know, all that stuff was cool. And he was pushing it. And I still never heard the record. I had to get the record from somebody else. I listened to the record and I was like, damn, this record is good. Some of the songs on there, even to this day, I go on YouTube and listen to them. And I say, wow, I should have just really buckled down and did this deal different and really worked this record. Like right now, I want to put not a greatest, but DAWG unreleased or things you might not have heard about DAWG, and use some of these songs. But respectfully, this is his record. So I would never step on his toes and do that.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know what he's doing with the record anymore.
Right.
He's smart because everything I push, he's behind it. Like you see these songs pop up on YouTube.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's how that record came developing, you know.
Tell me something. I'll ask you a question about Northwestern hip-hop. Around the globe, hip-hop has been through its golden age, its ice age. It's blowing up in the South. New York had its chance. The West Coast had their thing popping off. Why is it so hard for the Northwest to come into its bearing as far as making it on the hip-hop scene?
All these places you name had followings. They had people that were, let's not even use the word hater. Let's just say they were willing to work, and they understood somebody has to get on to pull people on. And they were willing to jump on the bus to get in line.
Right.
And that's what it's called, get in line.
Right.
And with that said, is trust the person that's leading you. If he has something, you need to recognize he has something. That's talent within itself, to recognize that somebody has something and maybe you can borrow from that.
Right.
People here, pride was too big. They, instead of them trying to follow the sound that Mix-a-Lot developed, because Mix did have his own sound.
Definitely.
Instead of people trying to inherit that sound, they tried to go around it. And when they tried to go around it, people were like, this ain't nothing like Mix-a-Lot. If you had one of these songs or something similar to this, we would grab you. When Dr. Dre put Warren G and them on, they had the G-Funk sound.
Yeah,
and that sound brought a lot of people through the door. Snoop Dogg, Corrupt, Daz, and everybody else.
Yeah.
The people in LA started inheriting that sound. Not only that, the Brat also inherited that sound.
Yeah.
And she got on.
Yeah.
So the thing is, Seattle has to learn how to trust and believe in the person that is getting the most. And once they do that, that's any Northwest, then everybody can fall in position. See, people here, I believe, are fighting for positions that's already taken.
Right.
You are who you are when you come in this game. But you got to also have a brain and understand that when you go to college, this is the way of doing the dental work. Now, once you get it, then you can develop the new system to do the dentures or whatever, the fillings a whole different way.
Right.
But the bottom line is you got to have that license to be able to do that, or they're not going to allow you to do it.
Right.
So I'm not saying sell out, get in. I'm saying learn how to put a little bit of twist on your music, right? But always keep your word. So that, because the only thing that can be considered sellout is when you start talking different when you get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But musically, you can inherit that. You can go to Sir Mix-a-Lot and say, man, I want to do a song with you.
Right.
You know, instead of dissing him
Right.
or saying F him and we going to get it like this. Because I see people out here use this word too much. Man, watch what I do. When we get it, when I do it, and it's always I watch. And it's like, when you say watch to somebody, you saying, you're not going to be involved. Watch me. I got this.
Right.
That's not a movement. A movement is, this is what we need to do. Right? E-Dawg is hot right now. Everybody need to get out here, wear an E-Dawg t-shirt, support his shows, talk about E-Dawg, get his records out there, help your friend know about his record, and I'm going to do the same, and we gonna get E-Dawg up on the mountain, then E, you going to drop the rope down, and you going to pull us all up.
Right.
Now, if I renege on that, then you have the right to be mad at me. But if you never reached out to me, cats never really reached out to Mix. They never gave him they never gave him that, hey man, we believe in you. We gonna roll with you.
Right.
And I'm not making excuses for him, because he really should have took a step backwards too and said, yo, I need to open up some kind of door for these cats to be able to get a little close to me so I can determine who does want to follow me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's what I feel about the Northwest scene, is that people need to follow the protocol.
Well, we went through some deep topics. Tell me a little bit. You said you're going to release single after single and hit him with the whole retirement plan, the whole album. Once the movement starts, do you go deep on this album, the retirement plan that you're waiting to release? Do you go into deep topics like?
Man, I got a song. Yeah, go ahead.
My favorite artists, as far as deep poetry in their music and really feeling them is obviously Tupac and obviously Scarface, as far as the depth of their lyrics. And I know you're a man with a lot of depth to you. You're very talented, always have been. Very intelligent, always have been. Tell me a little bit about what we can expect when you're ready to release the album, the Retirement Plan.
I got a song on there, I call it My Baby. Like, this record is bananas. It's called It's Not Easy. And I touch on the world, from my personal life to what you can be going through. It's almost like a counselor could have spit it.
Right.
And it's not easy in different situations. It's not easy in the music industry no more. People don't buy me like they used to. People take advantage of me. People got 100 songs in their iPod and only listen to me once. I'm speaking like if I'm the music complaining. Right? And I got It's Not Easy being us. Meaning that it's hard to go put gas in your car and you ain't got no money in the bank and the gas prices are high and you're losing your people in your family easier than it used to be and all kinds of things. But I'm speaking as us. So the second verse is us. Third verse is music. The first verse is me. And I touch on topics of my personal life. Me going into foreclosure, losing my home. My wife seeing the notice, but me trying to hide it. And, so forth. But, so I talk about everything personal, and I don't have no problem with it. It feels good, and this record feels good to me. And that's why I'm releasing Dip, and then I release Cars That Go Boom, and then Rocket Ship. But I'm saving that because that's the one that I'm calling my nail in the coffin. Right. Like, I know, I've heard it from so many people, like, man, that song is deep. Even people that I didn't expect to like that type of music, how I did it, because it's a pop record. Right? So, and that record's timeless. I'm not worried about it getting old. I'm sitting back going, just watch this.
Yes.
Right? So, far as, that, yeah. But there's some things on the record that I want to change too, that because I've grown in the past 3-4 months too, that I start going out in the clubs a little bit more. I start seeing people and seeing different things and visions. So it's like Pac. Pac was he wasn't just a great storyteller, but he talked about things he lived out, where he's seen other people go through. That's why people were so connected to him, because they feel like they know what he's talking about. And that record, Retirement Plan, is on that level. And that record, Retirement Plan, is on that level.
I could imagine that. I looked on your Facebook page, facebook.com/eDawg, and I saw a cover on there, something about Funk Daddy, I think it was.
What was it? Funk Daddy?
Daddy. It was you sitting on a bench or something like that.
Oh, that's Funk Daddy.
Okay, Funk Daddy. Yeah, can you tell me a little bit about that one?
That's Funk Daddy put out a record back in the days through a company out of LA or California somewhere, and I was just a feature on that record.
Okay.
So I was just posting stuff that I was on.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were featured on a lot of records, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's kind of weird because people ask me to be on stuff a lot, and I'm just not that artist. Like, I'll do it, sometimes if you offer me money, I'll take my time, because my rapping is just not something I jump up and just do every day.
Right.
It's easy to me. It's like playing basketball. You might get slower, but you never lose the shot.
Right.
So it's like, I can rap on anything, but I also want to rap on something that's going to be something I don't reflect back on. Like, I don't want to make a record because somebody gave me some money, and then I put this record out and I blow up, and then all of a sudden these records are coming from the rear and they bad records, or this record is about this and about that. And I'm just like, yo, he's a hypocrite. Like, what is he doing a record with this goofball? And, so I want to make records with people that have the same determination, the same drive that I got.
Right.
So that not only are we making this record, but I trust that I can put you on the road with me, or I can go on the road with you, and we can, like Digital Underground.
Right.
We can expand, and people can hear our sound and what we're delivering.
After this successful release party at Papa Bug, is there going to be a tour?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to set up right now.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And I'm hoping that was
Who are
Mix
you
calling
looking
me.
to put on? Yo, really?
Man, I'm trying to go out with. I'm trying to bring Money B.
Right.
Me.
Raz Cass again.
Raz, man, me and Raz has been becoming good friends the past 2 months.
Right.
He's a good dude. You know, ain't no telling. I'm just trying to do shows. You know, I'm trying to win people over. I'm not trying to go out when everybody know me. I'm trying to go out now. I don't care if it's 50 people that show up.
Right.
I'm trying to get those 50 people to tell 50 and 50 tell 50.
Right.
And then I'll get the, you know, the beautiful thing about today is your results come overnight. So if you rock a show in Timbuktu and there was only 100 people, if 40 of those people come start friend requesting you, saying, I seen you last night, great show, those are my results. Now I can put a map together of who I need to get these records to immediately. And it's like fans turn their back on you so fast now because there's so many selections to pick from that sometimes you gotta open. I always tell artists, I say, man, why do you got your chat off on your Facebook? You should talk to any and everybody on here if they're not disrespecting you.
Right.
When they pop up and say, hey, how you doing today? Yo, what's up?
Yes.
I want you to be my family. If I'm going to take your money, I got to at least give you something.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you want to talk to me about your life, your boyfriend, your situations in your life, whatever, let's talk about it.
Right.
Because, you know what I mean? We're a team. You support me, I'm going to help support you.
Right.
Today, artists seem to put records out, and then they got security teams around them, and you can't say hi to them. You can't vibe with them. You can't get an autograph without some dude pushing you in the chest telling you get away. But then this guy just made $50 million off you.
Yeah.
The game is crazy.
My swag so clean, I'm fresh to death. Polo down, yeah, your boy's so fresh. They be on me tough like, yeah, that's him. All white ears with the all white rims. Love myself, don't need her to drop. Got a brand new drop, sitting in the parking lot. Looking like Goldie from the Mac, yes sir. And I can have her, like she had her. Pimpin' ain't easy, yeah, your boy got it right. Got everything I want, but I can't get enough. Bucks on bucks, I ain't talking about cash. 100 pound on the watch, I ain't talking about cash. Hat check, coat check, fly check. That's it. Looking at my mirror, it's about that time.
Hey,
Hit the
there goes
club,
D-Dawg.
I ain't standing in line.
Dip so hard when I'm in the club. I catch him off guard. If you didn't know, shorty hot dog to the spot that's hot where them girls dip low. I'd give so hard. I'd give so hard.
Yeah, like an old school dip low. I'm with your chick, yo. You know what it's hitting for. She sipping Clico and whining to the beat slow. She cheeky ass, she ain't finna fall asleep though. Yeah, lean back, sir. You know we chillin'. And haters get knocked down. Carrie Hilson, get your crew Chris Brown. No air. Where your hood at? I don't see him nowhere. You just baby ballin'. Think tricycles. We transcontinental, so think yacht rentals. In the spot where it's hot and them girls choosing. In they 7 jeans, acting Carl Lewis fast. And you know how my squad do it. Hey, girl in the world tryna rock to it. She said she loved the hook. Told her I wrote the hook. And now she at my crib. See how long it took.
Dip so hard when I'm in the club. I catch him off guard. If you didn't know, shorty hot dog to the spot that's hot where them girls dip low. I'd give so hard. I'd give so hard. Shorty staring out, she looking at me. I'm staring right back like what it's gonna be. We can get it in, you can bring a friend. If it down low and bring it up again.
She dipped it down low, took it to the flow. Pop locked and dropped it on me like whoa. Hands on her hips, she ain't letting go. My hands on her hips, so I ain't letting go.
I dip so hard when I'm in the club. I catch him off guard. If you didn't know.
hip so high.
Yo, what's up? It's Nasty Ness. Calling being E-Dog's new video, Dip.
Hey man, the video's over.
Oh man, for real?
So, this is the question we ask all our guests on We the Students when we end off a successful interview. What advice? What advice, not only in the music business, because I know you're deeper than just the music business, but what advice overall for life, handling life, and being a success at what you do, if not in rap, in anything? Do you have?
It's easy. Be a likable person, be humble, and respectful. Those are the three things you need to be in this business. Because one thing I have learned about this business is there's millions of rappers, but there's not millions of respectful, intelligent, humble rappers. So therefore, when you got a guy sitting in the driver's seat that has $200 million and he wants to sign acts, he has a choice. And your first impression is everything. So when you sit down with him, he might not want to hear about how dope you is. He knows that, or you wouldn't be sitting here.
Right.
He want to know who you are. He want to know where you're going with it.
Yes.
If I invest in you, I want to know that I'm building something bigger than just a rapper. That's not where all my money's going to come from. But if you decide to open a company and I give you a company through my company and that company grows and it goes so forth, there's a corporation and I can sit at home and not have to be here anymore and get paid for life. But I need to know that the person I'm giving my money to, which is the ball, knows how to dribble, knows how to shoot, but he also knows how to not talk back and get technical fouls and make us look bad.
Yes.
So my thing is, I always tell artists, I say, even if you don't know, even if you know the answer, act like you don't. Shake your head yes. And then wait till you leave a meeting and go look it up. Go seek it. Go find it. Educate yourself with it. Come back to the table with the right answer. But don't blab out like you know. Make yourself look bad because you might not get that second meeting. But that person will respect you once you come back to the table and say, oh yeah, by the way, when you asked me about the situation, I wasn't really fully understanding it, but now I do. Yes, this is what I want to do, and I want to imply this, and I want to make this happen. That makes people go, you know what, I like that young man. He's determined. He's ready to learn. He wants to learn. This is who I want my project to be. So my thing is humble, respect, and honor the people that you're in front of, whether you think they lower than you or not. Always know that another person's trash might be treasure later. So the person you run into that might be lower than you might be that person closing the deal on your house, might be the person that determines whether you get the loan, might be the person determining whether you get airplay tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I respect everybody from all different angles. And that's just it. Respect, man, and be humble. That's it.
Well, E-Dog, I want to thank you for an in-depth interview. Thank you for coming over.
Oh, no doubt.
This is We the Students Television. Serve notice. E-Dog, pick up the retirement plan. The I-Dip bumping, and all DJs should be bumping I-Dip and Cars That Go Boom. No doubt. And make sure you check him out on Facebook. This is Dominic Hoyt, Serve Notice with E-Dog, We the Student Television. Peace.